Hello Timon and welcome to Musings with Fox. Things look a little different around here. I'm trying something new with my makeup related videos versus my fashion and talking head videos. My background gels haven't gone anywhere. I'm just trying something different. Let me know if you prefer to stare at my kitty light and my brush collection or if you like the just colored background so you can just focus on my face. So I've been getting really introspective and retrospective in the last few weeks, and so I decided that December for a lot of my videos will be like retrospectives on the year, so a lot of favorites videos, but bringing you like honest favorites that should be helpful, things that I have experienced all year long or used all year long and what I love the most. So of course I was thinking of a makeup favorites video, and I could just come on here and just hold them up and show you I love this, I love that. I thought it'd be best if I actually used the things that I say I love. A lot of things you will have seen in my videos throughout the year because they just are my staples. Some of these have been favorites for years, some of these are just this year I've really gotten into them. So it's gonna be a bit of a mixed bag of things you've seen and things you may not have realized that I love. So I'm going to create a makeup look today with my favorites of 2019 and beyond. So first up for my makeup love is my moisturizer for the last few years. That is BELIF's moisturizing balm. I have tried the Aqua Balm. I do not love it as much as the moisturizing balm because my skin is very thirsty, and this one works the best. The Aqua Balm is a bit of a lighter moisturizer. I've used it in the summer a few times, but I always come back to the moisturizing balm. Zooming in a little bit as we come to eyes, and anyone who's regularly watched this channel, you're probably sick of me telling you about this primer, but the SMASHBOX 24-hour primer is just, I wouldn't do any big event without this primer. It's my favorite. So when trying to think about what my eyeshadow palette of the year would be or something like that, I got really overwhelmed because so many palettes came out this year, and then I just asked myself, well, what have you actually been using? You know, what do you really want people to know about? And it came down to a brand. That is Melt Cosmetics. So for today's look, I'm actually going to be using two palettes from them. The Gemini, which I have featured just in October, and Smoke Sessions, which I don't think I've actually used on camera before, possibly because they'll probably get this video demonetized. But I've actually used this palette a lot. I've had some fun creating like really fun exotic looks on my Instagram with this, but I haven't done it in a video. But I've really just fallen in love with this brand this year. It kind of started last fall, so fall of 2018, when I first got Gemini and then got Smoke Sessions. I think this was kind of their holiday palette of 2018, but it is still available. And I've picked up their Impulsive palette. I have one of their stacks. I've just really fallen in love with this brand. I love that it's owned by two women who are at the forefront of their brand. They're the ones who are creating all this stuff. It's just a brand I'm really excited about. It is definitely a high-end brand, that's for sure. Their palettes are not cheap. They're a bit more expensive than like an Urban Decay palette, but they also have Afterpay on their site, which I really appreciate. So you can get your palette now and pay it in installments later without like any credit check or credit card or anything like that. So I really just appreciate that. They're like, yeah, our makeup is high end, but the quality is there, and they have ways to help you out to pay to be able to afford these over time while still getting to enjoy the goodies right away. So I'm going to be using the mattes from Gemini and the beautiful glitters. Let me just open it up and show it to you. That makes a lot more sense. Here is the Smoke Sessions palette. I'm not going to say the words of the symbols because I really don't want to get this video demonetized and hidden from all of YouTube. You can see how much I've used it, and yeah, it's gotten a little bit all over the place. This is the palette I actually took with me to France, and I used it specifically on my birthday. So because I usually share my birthday looks, I'm going to be doing my makeup look from Paris that I did with this palette, really mostly focusing on this beautiful gold right here. Going in with Luna all over the lid, up to my brow bone. Oh, I have definitely paled up since October because this is definitely a little more starkly not my skin tone color, but that's okay. I'm going to take a bit of Lorelei in the crease with the same brush. This is the ColourPop E2 brush. We're just going to pop a nice mustard to help anchor the gold later. Not being too precious about it. I really do like my makeup looks a little deconstructed, a little messy, but like deliberately messy. not like I ran out of time to blend. Just a little chaotic. So we're gonna go into Gravity OG here with truly my favorite flathead brush, and that is the Smith 253 brush. I just love that it's like flat, but also, come on. Oh, we're gonna do the old school YouTube thing here, are we? It blends while it also applies, which is really great. Here's Gravity OG, beautifully all over that brush. Make sure I'm in frame. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yes, thank you. Go back in with that blending brush. Kind of blend out whatever escaped into my crease. So I used the color switch to clean off my brush so I can go into Granddaddy in that outer corner. Give it a little more of a burnished gold. I love how easily these blend together. It just looks like a slightly darker version of the same shade, so creates definition without making a lot of work for me to make the two go together. Go back in and blend Cupcake and Bonnie to get a nice dark brown, black, not full on black shade for the very outer corner. And taking a Real Techniques, I think this is like the definer, or it's a tiny Real Techniques brush. I'm just getting up at that lash line and smoking out. Always make sure to kind of like wiggle in where like your eyeball ends and your eyelid is, because I always get like a gap there. So I have to like gently jam it in so it doesn't skip. There's another talk about this, or this is also where you decide what the shape of your eye look is going to be. I like to mimic my wings with my shadow. So I kind of make a very exaggerated V, but then I go in and I blend this part out. But this is where I kind of like to get that cat eye going with the shadow. For blending out, I like to take a clean brush. This is the Luxie 207 clean with nothing on it. This is also a really beautiful crease brush. I like to go back in and touch up any Gravity OG that I feel got blended away. I always like to show you the little things that I feel like a lot of people don't show. I always feel so confused when I see some people like, how did you get your lid color to stay so like impactful when you're doing all this other blending? It's because they go back in and they just don't always show you. So I just want to make sure I show you guys these little details so you don't feel like you're screwing up or doing something wrong. It's just because a lot of tutorials just don't have time to show you everything. Never feel bad if you go back in and add more to your lid color. Everyone does it. Now for tight lining, I'm going to go in with my forever favorite eyeliner, and that is Urban Decay's 24-hour eyeliner in Perversion. It is the blackest of blacks. I've tried so many. I also really do enjoy NYX's pencils, even if you want like a more pro brand. I like Esam, but I will always come back to Urban Decay's liners. Ooh! Poke myself in the eye, guys. That's the reality of doing makeup videos. You poke yourself in the eye. Oh, it hurts. If anyone ever wonders why I always do my eyes before the rest of my face, it's because my allergies make my eyes very sensitive. So when I poke, it's a waterfall, it's waterworks, it's really awful, and I don't want to have to like wipe away anything I do here, so I can just make a mess of myself and try and clean it up with the least amount of redo possible. Okay, my eye is still intact. Thank you for bearing with me for a second there. That was a close call. I actually didn't have to redo my eye, which is amazing because sometimes my eye does a complete meltdown and I have to fix the entire eye, but it was saved. We're good. My eye didn't tear upwards in a weird way. So we're gonna go into the most nerve-wracking part of eyes, and that is eyeliner. And the liner I have sworn by all year, which is the NYX Epic ink liner. It is a pretty good dupe for that liner from that person who we're not talking about anymore. I'm gonna admit it's been very hard to give up that liner. It is a perfect liner from a super imperfect person, so that really has been hard to not use anymore. But once I found this, you guys have seen it in pretty much every video where I've done liner. The best tip I have ever received about how to get a really crisp liner wing is to start from the lower corner and swipe up. That way you don't have the full force of the pen, gives you a really nice, sharp, crisp, light flick to work with. Curling lashes is always my much loved and well abused Tarte curler. I've tried a few from other brands. I've even used high-end Tweezerman ones, and they just don't agree with my eye as much. This one just really is well shaped for my eye. Curling your eyelashes is super important if you are like me and do not wear a lot of falsies, especially for a regular day look. Curling your lashes makes a huge difference in an eye look. It may surprise some of you, but my mascara of the year has actually been this one I picked up as a Sephora sample. It is their LashCraft Big Volume Mascara. I have worn nothing but it for a few weeks now for my day-to-day looks, and I'm really loving it. I'm gonna have to go pick up a full bottle. I think Sephora's been really stepping up their in-house makeup game, and I'm really proud of that. It is just a really fantastic, nice, very black mascara. The brush never pokes me in the eyes as some of the other higher end brand brushes do. It's just a nice old school good mascara, and that's just really what I want. For under my eyes, I'm going to take Goldmine from Urban Decay. So taking a Sigma pencil brush, the E30, and we're actually going to go into Black Widow. Hello, right there, yes. And smudge her on that lower lash line for about 2/3 of it. I like the grungy gold of it. And just pop a little bit of that Gravity OG in the front. Alright, I'm gonna go clean up my face and I will be back to do the complexion. Okie dokie, all cleaned up and a little bit of moisturizer back added where I removed it with my micellar water. For primer, the winner of 2019 is the Milk Hydro Primer. It is fantastic. I bought the little half-size one for $15 and I still have so much left even though I use this almost daily. It is just such a fantastic primer. I do kind of have to do this with it so it'll resettle in the bottom, but for $15 it's been a great deal for primer. I do use a fair bit of it because I have a nice little moon face and I really like to put it on my cheeks because that is where foundation tends to leave me, and then pressed into my nose, on my forehead, because this is my dry patch up here, so I need to create a barrier between my skin and my foundation because my skin will try to drink it. If you feel like your foundation goes away, it's oftentimes because your skin drinks in the liquid of your foundation. And it just sucks all that in, and you're left with just kind of the pigment sitting on your skin, which is why it kind of breaks down. So you want to make sure you are well hydrated before applying makeup, and also nice and primed. So the Hydro Grip Primer is a grip primer because it gets so sticky. This is also another one that specifically tells you to wait at least 30 seconds between applying this and applying your foundation. You want to get super sticky. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands because now my hands are sticky. My favorite foundation of 2019 is slightly a cheat because it's only been out for half of 2019, but it is by far one of my favorite foundations to come out in years, and that is the Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. I've had a lot of struggles over the years trying to find a foundation that covers my discoloration or uneven coloring without super covering my freckles. I'm still struggling to find a foundation that fully covers my freckles and lets me have that kind of blank canvas feel that people who don't have freckles have. But I've embraced my freckles a lot more. I know a lot of you love my freckles and that's really helped me love them as well. So I'm trying to find a foundation that gives me the nice, even complexion I want without making me feel like you can just see my freckles underneath it to kind of make my face look dirty or like I have weird fallout, and this is the foundation that does that. I did go to the Urban Decay launch party, but because I got pulled on stage with Lizzo, I missed the opportunity to get this foundation for free from Urban Decay, so this is actually purchased by me. I love it that much that I have actually spent my own money on it, even though I had the opportunity to get it for free. That should tell you how much this foundation actually means to me, because spending $40 on foundation is not an enjoyable experience, but the experience this foundation has given me has been just fantastic. Like I really love you. You're so pretty and rose gold and covered in fingerprints. So with this foundation, I actually prefer a brush versus a beauty blender experience. And so I'm taking the IT Cosmetics Flawless Foundation Brush, one of my favorite foundation brushes of all time. I usually need a little bit more than one pump. I usually need about like a pump and a half for my face. And so I just kind of boop it. I don't want to boop too much on my nose. Just a little bit on my forehead. Oh, and the color I am wearing is 40 Warm Yellow, so 40 WY. I will bring you in close to show you how this lays on the skin, because it doesn't even feels like what I always thought a tinted moisturizer would do for me, where my skin feels hydrated, it looks polished, but it definitely looks like skin. I don't think anyone could come to me and be like, oh, look at your foundation. I think you'd be like, wow, what are you doing with your skin? And that's the kind of foundation I really like for my freckles. There's cat hairs all over my face. I can feel them. So let me bring you in to show you how the foundation looks really up close on my skin. Come closer, darling. That's it on my skin. You can see on my sweet little freckles. Still look very much like my freckles. So there's up to Gerald. That's Gerald down there. We're not talking to him. Because it looks like natural skin, it does make me a bit dewy in places I don't quite want to be dewy. So my favorite powder of the year is the Mystifying Mattifying High Def powder from Lunatic Cosmetics. I love that it comes in a planchette. I'm obsessed with that. You can see my gross fingerprints all over my mirror. Such a professional. And for that, I like to take this brush from Laura Mercier that is curved, and I just take it on my forehead. I don't want too much glow there. Over on my chin. And a little bit down here. I want all the glow on like my nose and my cheeks. For blush, I have absolutely fallen in love with Urban Decay's blush in Video. Thank you to my bestie for telling me about it. And I just like to apply it kind of on the apples and just sweep up. It's a kind of like, looks almost like it would be a bronzer shade, but it's just a really lovely natural colored blush that I feel like matches my natural blush tones without making me look flushed in a out of breath or allergic reaction kind of way. And I've really been loving it with gold toned eyeshadows. Ooh, can you hear the rain? Rain is my favorite weather in the whole world. Oh, so good. And then my bronzer of the year, actually, you can tell it's been worn because I have just been carrying it around with me everywhere. It is the Bye Bye Pores bronzer from IT Cosmetics in the color Beach. Perfectly not orangey. And I just love it because it just really disappears and goes so well with Video. And then with always when I apply bronzer or anything like that, I love to go back over it with my foundation brush to just kind of layer it under whatever was left on my brush so it looks a lot more natural. And here are my blushes and bronzers. So I feel a little guilty when it comes to my favorite highlighter. It's also kind of a brand because you cannot get my favorite highlighter. I've really been falling in love with BECCA's highlighters. I really do think they make some of the best highlighters in the entire industry. I have tried a lot of highlighters and they're the ones that I keep kind of collecting. You can also get them at Costco for like 20 bucks. So I've gotten ones, I got their lavender quartz, something like that, for 20 bucks at Costco. So if you don't want to spend $40 on a highlighter, I completely understand. Check out Costco. Same packaging, the same everything, they just have a deal with Costco and you can get them for $20, so that was a great snag. My favorite highlighter, it'll probably be my favorite highlighter of all time forever. And I'm biased, and you'll see why I'm biased if you watch this channel frequently. That is the Parisian Lights highlighter from BECCA. This was a limited edition that a French blogger created. It looks a lot like the lavender quartz. When I got the lavender quartz, I'll put the correct name down here. When I got that one, I actually swatched it at home. I was like, oh crap, did I just buy a dupe of the one I already have? They are slightly different. The lavender one obviously has like a very gentle purple shift to it, and this one is very clearly peach and a little bit like yellow, very yellow. So if you don't want a super yellow one and you want like a little bit more of like a pinky gently lavender, go that way. That one's available at Costco for sure. But this is my favorite highlighter in the entire universe. I have a drugstore kind of dupe that if I couldn't pick BECCA as my favorite highlighter of 2019, it would actually be the Born to Glow from NYX. This one, I really hate the name of it. I use it in my video where I did my makeup that's dedicated to my cat Tucker. It's called Stand Your Ground. Friggin' hate that name, but it is a fantastic highlighter. It's really beautiful. I will swatch both of them on my hand. I don't know if you can even try to find this Parisian Lights. I would not pay like whatever like eBay sellers are selling it for. It's a beautiful highlighter, but the $40 is the limit of what I would ever pay for a highlighter of any brand, honestly. This is Parisian Lights, and this is Stand Your Ground from NYX's Born to Glow. So I love them both. They're not similar, but they have similar effects on the skin, especially if you put like a peachy blush down and then this, you would get close to this, but this will forever be my favorite highlighter in the entire universe. So congrats to that French blogger who made this one. It is beautiful. I'm gonna use the Parisian Lights one because I love it and that's what I want to wear today. Admitting, heads up, I get it. This one is limited edition, not available anymore, and crazy expensive. Totally get that, but NYX has a great formula in the Born to Glows. And I wear this one dramatically and I'm not sorry about it. Can you tell I've only been like going like in between the legs of the Eiffel Tower? I don't want to mess that up until I have to. Really don't want to. Ugh, yes. I don't typically wear my highlighters this dramatic except for this one. Obviously, I'm a Francophile. My husband is French. One day I will be French too. And so the fact that this is created by this blogger to represent the colors the Eiffel Tower lights up at night. Paris is a very special place to me. So I love this highlighter. So now that I am looking like a beautiful Christmas tree ornament, we're gonna kind of go over with my powder just to blend it in a little more. Oh, this little highlight on my nose. Sorry for people who hate nose highlight, I get it, but not with this highlighter. I don't highlight my chin because I have a lot of oil here, and so I feel like when I highlight my chin it just looks like oil instead of glow. Just no. We're gonna talk brows, and I'm gonna bring you in close. Hello, and welcome to my brows. We have talked a lot about my brows before, the fact that they are curly and unruly. 2019 has been a big brow year for me because I am trying to grow them thicker. So I'm kind of torn because I've been doing two different looks with my brows this year. The main one I usually show in videos is the Brow Blade and the Brow Endowed from Urban Decay. These are magical miracle products if you want defined brows that still look like you actually grew that hair yourself and maybe you just like enhanced the color a little bit. So this looks like a real life Instagram filter. And the other one for my more naturalistic days is the NYX Fill and Fluff. It is just a pencil on one side that is nice and angled, and then this really cute brush on this side. Even when I do this, I usually will prep my brows with this brush. I love this brush. It is really great, especially for my ridiculous little brow hairs. So on my days at the office, I typically will do this one, so I don't have really strong brows, but this look is strong, so we're going with some strong brows. So I go in first with the pencil side of the Brow Blade. This color is Cafe Kitty, and I just kind of create the line here at the bottom, kind of shape them since I have some blonde hairs and some white hairs that really don't let you see what the heck my brows are shaped like. And then I use that to define the outer edge here. And then I go in with the ink stain side and I draw in hairs to cover up my lack of growth in places. In short little strokes to mimic hairs. And then because my hairs are getting thicker, I don't use the primer of the Brow Endowed as much as I used to. So I just like to use the color to kind of make my brows look a lot normaler. Normaler, that's a word now apparently. This one is in Brown Sugar. I like to use 2 different colors on my brows because no one's brows are really monochrome, and so it just creates a little more natural definition. To finish off, we have my favorite lip product of 2019, and that is Smashbox's Always On Liquid Lips. I've been talking about these for years, and I really love them, but this is the year that every time I went to buy a lip product, it was either the Vice Lip Chemistry from Urban Decay, which is really... it doesn't go with this look. So if you want to know my other favorite thing, it's the Vice Lip Chemistry in Third Base. But otherwise, I'm constantly grabbing one of these Smashbox liquid lips. This is the one I specifically bought for my birthday in Paris to go with this look, and that is in Vino Noir. It is a metallic, dark, vampy, slightly brownish red. It's definitely not a purple based red. It is very like more brown leaning. If you want a different, like an indie brand, you could get Armageddon from Black Moon Cosmetics. I also have that one. That one's just a little bit more glittery, and this one's just a little less glittery. But this has been one of my favorite lip products of all of 2019. I wear it a lot. Also have Maneater in the metallic version of Always On, which is a very bright red, which is perfect for the holidays, but I really like a vampire lip with a gold eye. That's just, if you look at my birthday look of 2018, that was also a gold eye with a vampy lip. I might have a theme for birthday looks. Oh, my dress was also burgundy, and this year's dress was burgundy. I have a problem. I admit that. But I kind of think that's kind of a cool thing to do. Same kind of look as I get older, just different variations. Shows how I change. Or I get more and more dramatic. But anyways, this is Vino Noir from Smashbox. Alrighty guys, there you go, my full face of my favorite 2019 products, as well as my birthday 2019 tutorial, just 8 months. 8 months? Yeah, 8 months late. Sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a lot more favorites of 2019 coming up, including my favorite bra, which is like a new venture on my channel, but this is a bra that I really want to tell you guys about. My favorite like curling products of 2019 and more. I also have a lookbook coming up and a try on haul. My goodness, it is going to be a like plethora of content this December, and I'm so excited to bring it all to you guys. If you have any recommendations of what you think might, like a favorite of 2020 might be, let me know in the comments down below. As always guys, I will see you next time. Bye!